the first giant to rule Egypt 5,000 years ago. An ancient Egyptian pharaoh from the 3rd dynasty was the first giant, quote-unquote, of ancient Egypt according to new scientific data. Pharaoh Sa-Nakht, who ruled the Nile River civilization for about 1,000 years before Ramesses II ascended to the throne, is thought to be the first giant of ancient Egypt. Ramesses, who was considered extremely tall a few thousand years ago, at the height of about 1.75 meters, I'm 1.76 meters, that's 5'9", was a dwarf in front of the size of Pharaoh Sa-Nakht. Sa-Nakht, or Sa-Nakht, remains an enigma to experts for years about his power, when he took over, when he died, and what kind of pharaoh he was. All this remains unclear. What the experts have been able to gather over the years comes from some relics that have survived for more than 5,000 years. If we take a look at the records of ancient Egypt from the then historian Manetho was one of the ancient Egyptian priests, I remember, from one of the previous articles recently I uploaded for you. Manetho and the list of Turin, Sa-Nakht ruled the ancient Egyptian empire for 18 years, but many archaeologists claim that his exact time on the throne remains a mystery. Although we do not know much, we do know some things. One is that the giants, quote-unquote, we have in mind may reach as high as a mediocre apartment building, not exactly, or at least that they want to present to us through official data. It's believed that in 1901, in the small village of Beit Khalaf, archaeologists excavated skeletal remains belonging to a man who, according to measurements, was 6 foot or 1.6 inches tall, almost 2 meters tall, and they are considered to belong to Sa-Nakht, given that according to the previously studied detailed research assistant Michael Habich says the average height for men around that same time was about 5'6". Then the height converts this particular pharaoh Sa-Nakht into a real giant for his time. According to Charles S. Myers, in the bones of Hen-Necht, the Egyptian king of the 3rd dynasty, Sa-Nakht's skull was rather large and spacious. Although his skull was unusually wide and almost short-headed, the proportions of his long bones matched those of most other ancient Egyptians at the time. The noise caused by Sa-Nakht was unprecedented, as it surpassed even Ramesses II in height, with about 5'9" inches, who ruled 1,000 years later. A study published in The Lancet, Diabetes and Endocrinology, shows how the ancient Egyptian pharaoh may have suffered from gigantism. Experts from the University of Zurich, who have analyzed the findings in detail, believe that this is the oldest example of gigantism in human history. The reason for this trend in gigantism are not always certain, said study co-author Michael Habich, an Egyptologist in the University of Zurich Institute for Evolutionary Medicine. In our modern age, the average height of a man is definitely 20 to 30 centimeters less than 2 meters, with the basketball players who usually surpass them in a few thousand years be considered giants. Strange things. So I'll leave a link below for you for this. I've translated from a Greek article. Please leave your comments and thank you for your support. Kindly support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.